And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 117 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers.
And we'll happily drink them.
Yes, we will. You can also visit hansonsonhiatus.com. You can check out the merch shop. We got all the links to the podcast. Actually, on the merch shop, we got the Father's Day stuff up there, correct?
Tons of cool Father's Day stuff, hilarious like dad jokes and guitar things, and then just anybody type of stuff.
Great gift. I ordered something for my dad. I think you did as well.
Me too.
Yeah, we got hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, like
stickers,
tank tops, everything. Yeah, for sure. So,
everything.
Also at hansonsonhiatus.com, you can become a monthly fucky supporter.
Oh, please do.
If you are enjoying the podcast and the stories and the information, you can be a little fucky for $1 a month. You can be a medium fucky for $5 a month, or you can be a big old fucky for $10 a month.
We love all our fuckies.
We do, and thank you to some of our fuckies: Jose, Sydney, Luis, Manny, Spandex Thor, Brian P, Antonio, Chrissy, Christina, Stephanie, Kimberly, and Tom. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate you guys.
We really do appreciate
and all of our free fuckies, so thank you.
We do. We appreciate all our fuckies.
And also, as we've been saying, if you have a business that would like to sponsor the podcast, just an episode, you can do we can do a monthly schedule, whatever you guys feel like. Reach out to us on Instagram at DigiDudeNate or at Hansons on Hiatus, and we can set you up.
So fun. I love that.
Yeah. And as usual, like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus.
We be there.
We be everywhere. And not a lot of comments from the last episode, but Jose's, we were talking about Tiger, not the replacement, the second edition, the new pug. He suggested Poncho or Panchito.
Panchito, that's cute.
Yeah, I like that.
Like a poncho, like a coat.
Or maybe
like
it's Poncho. Yeah, is Poncho spelled Pancho, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, yeah,
Poncho.
So that's it. Yeah, Poncho.
Panchito,
Cute. I do like Poncho. That is a good one. That is a good one. All right, well, to pick up from last week, we were talking about our neighbor JC, who had to move back to Mexico City, and we felt really bad for him taking the bus up to the airport in Cancun, like an hour, and his giant husky Kylo had to ride, or was going to have to ride under the bus.
It's so hot right now. There's no way.
No way. So we decided to do him a solid, rent a car, because we were going to try to get some money together from the building and get him just a taxi up there, but it's like half the price just to rent a car.
So much cheaper.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So we did that. We rented a car, drove him up there. It got a little dicey because I think last weekend we talked about what we were doing, but we hadn't actually done it yet.
Yes.
Because this was on last Friday. And so I went and got the car in the morning. We were supposed to leave. What was it, like 9 a.m. we wanted to leave? Or 8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
He wanted to be there by 9 because it's about an hour ride. So we get the car. We were worried we weren't going to be able to get the dog in the car, fit it in, his big kennel and everything.
Got a big, huge crate.
We got like an economy car. But everything fit.
Everything fit great.
Got everybody in, but then we were going up there. We ran into some construction.
Of course.
Started delaying us a little bit more. And we got there about like 9:30.
Yeah. I don't think we left right at 8. That was freaking me out. I was like, guys, choppy.
Yeah, it was only like a few minutes late, but that was because we were trying to figure out how to get the cage in the car and everything like that.
Kylo did great. He was a trooper all the way up.
And we got a little update of like what happened, and I don't know, all the details, but it sounded like, so I don't know, I can't remember what the name of this guy was, but they said the company that he worked for has like a fixer guy, and this fixer guy, like kind of, I guess in the U.S. it would just be like a lawyer, but this guy is like a slimy lawyer. But this guy, so this guy knows all the cops. He knows like the government people to like get some permits through and stuff like that. So he goes into the office and they say, hey, put your phone outside. And he's like, what? Okay. And so it's like his boss's son that took over the company. I think we were talking about that. And the fixer guy were in there, and he shows him his phone. He's like, is this your address, in Mexico City? And he's like, yeah, that's my brother's address. And he goes, okay, we have 2 guys outside of your house. He's like, I guess this all stemmed from when he got mugged our buddy JC, when he was leaving a nightclub. He got mugged by like the taxi driver or something. I didn't really follow the story, but they stole his phone and everything. So the boss thought that the cartel was like trying to get to him.
Yeah.
So
get back at him or something.
No, like get to him, like turn him, like have him pay the derecho de piso, which is like kind of like a bribe. It's a bribe, or the rights to operate in the tourist zone and have to pay a little bit of money. So he thought that JC was in on it. And so they were like threatening him, and they were like, hey, this is, we know where your family lives, like we're going to give you this money now. And then, just to basically get the fuck out of town or whatever. So
that's fun.
Yeah. So that's why he was getting the fuck out of Dodge. But I was like, okay, so you're worried about the cartel getting to him, but then you're treating him like the cartel. You're threatening his family and telling him to get the fuck out of town and everything.
You're acting like the cartel.
Yeah, super weird. So I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe I was not. I feel like I was understanding it, but maybe I don't understand what this guy was doing or whatever. But
there's still, we need to understand that even though we're in a beautiful little touristy town, there's still local things going on like this that we will hopefully never truly understand or be involved in, but it's still going on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's like, they use the word cartel because it's sexy, it's something exotic because they don't have the they're just called gangs in the U.S., but the same shit happens with gangs in the U.S. They hit people up for money and they bribe people and they influence government and stuff like that. So it's very similar. It's just a different word for it. So.
Yeah, I don't like saying it.
But it's the same thing in the U.S. though. Yeah, I've never interacted with a gang before. We know that they're everywhere. As long as you're not doing anything shady or illegal, you typically don't run into them.
I remember I worked at Forever 21 when I graduated college. I was a visual merchandiser, and the general manager of the store, her boyfriend at the time, he just looked like trouble.
Yeah.
He said he was in the Latin Kings gang.
Oh yeah.
But he was such a, I don't know, pansy.
Yeah, you're like, sure, what are you, the dishwasher?
Yeah, I'm like, Latin
at
Kings?
the fort?
Okay. In Orlando, Florida? Great.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what we took him up there. We got him there. He got on in the flight in time, got back to Mexico City safely. So it all worked out.
It did. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's there.
But it was great. So we were like, okay, well, what do we do now? And I spent some time looking at some things to do because we really have not spent any time in Cancun. Like,
yeah, no, not really. It's in and out from the airport. That's about it.
Go to the airport, or we just go through Cancun to get to Isla Mujeres. But we really have not. Us two have not spent any time there. I went like during spring break, and when I was staying in Playa del Carmen when I was in high school, we would take the ADO bus up and go to the nightclubs and stuff and go visit some people that were staying at hotels there and everything. But since we've lived here, we really have not spent any time there. We've never even been to a Cancun beach before.
True. I mean, it looks beautiful. I went up with my friend Stephanie and stayed for a little bit, but together,
true. Sorry, yeah, you did.
We really haven't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just hear it's expensive, and
which we really didn't have that experience.
We really didn't,
because we when we had the car, we went to go let's go get some breakfast. So I found a good breakfast spot. It was like all you can drink, all you can eat, breakfast buffet. Then not just breakfast food, they had pizzas there,
Mexican food,
like tacos, like pozole, like lots of different types of food. And then what were the drinks we could get? We could get mimosas, cantaritos, and claricote. What else?
There's something else.
Maybe a margarita or something like that.
Yeah, we stuck with the mimosas and.
Yeah, I got the cantarito. Yeah, but all that was like $15.
Yeah,
and then after that, we went to the pharmacy. You were picking up something, and I don't know how much it is here normally, but it was like 40 pesos to get some medication, and it was like $2.
I got water and a medication, and she's like 50 pesos. I'm like, what? I felt stupid putting it on my card. I was like, are you sure you charged me for 9 pesos for my water?
Yeah, what the hell was that?
You can't get 9 peso water here.
No, never. So that was interesting.
Exciting.
Yeah. But then we decided, since we had a car, we were going to go to the beach.
Yeah.
And it has been decades since I've been to the beaches of Cancun, and there was a wide variety of attire there.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah. Well, some people, like this one girl we saw, was barely wearing anything. It was the moon was out during the day.
I I don't know how you're comfortable at the beach in that.
Hey, no tan lines.
True. Kudos to her for rocking it.
And then there was another medium kind of level guy. Dude just straight up in his tighty whities. Well, they were gray, so tighty grays.
Ooh, I hope they came gray. They came that way.
And then there was this other guy, and he was dressed like he was part of a NASCAR pit crew.
Fully clothed.
Yeah, helmet Tom Cruise.
Help me, Oprah Winfrey. We're like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
We're just dying of sweat.
And him and his wife were just like the undertow, I guess, was super strong that day. Like I had a hard time swimming actually.
It was crazy. I didn't fully go in. You went in, and I was scared because I hurt my back. So I was like, if I go in there, I'm gonna let the ocean take me. There's no coming back.
Yeah, but it was a really. We went to Dolphin Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And
beautiful.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. A little bit of
Gorgeous.
seaweed, not too bad considering it's been pretty bad recently. But man, the beach was great. It was very like inclined, like people were like sitting on it and the water was coming up and like taking people out basically.
Yeah,
it was
you
crazy.
had to go over like a hill to actually get down to the ocean, and then there was another hill in there, and I was like, I'm not going.
Yeah,
past it.
not happening.
Mm-mm.
Not happening.
Mm-mm.
So after we left the beach, then where did we go after that? Oh, okay. So there's this new outlet mall, and it's kind of in between. It's south of Cancun, but just north of Puerto Morelos, called the Grand Outlet Mall Riviera Maya. And it was supposed to be this grand mall, and we've been hearing about it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I knew it had opened, maybe a year ago even. But everybody that we had heard that had gone there, they were saying, well, there's some things open. They're still open. Like they didn't just open everything all at once.
Yeah,
it was like they were adding stores and stuff. And so we decided to go like, hey, we got a car. It's on the way. We got nothing to do. It was just like a, uneventful weekend.
Yeah. Very uneventful.
And
Let's drive a car to Cancun with a dog and a friend and then go 20 places.
Yes,
very uneventful.
It was an eventful weekend. So we go to this mall and it was fucking awesome.
It was really nice.
I felt like we were at like a mall in Miami or something.
Yeah,
like
very swanky.
Yeah, but it was just everything was very nice and manicured. There's escalators and like all the plants and everything. And they had, what was it like? It'd be a great place to go if it was raining, a couple days or something like that. We're trying to find something to do when it's raining out.
Yeah, if you have nothing else to do and you're like, I need to do a little shopping or walking around.
Well, not even that. I was thinking like we could get, like they have an ice skating rink.
Oh, true.
They have like laser tag.
It's so random in Mexico.
Yeah, well, that's why, because nobody can go fucking ice skating normally. Just during Christmas when they do the pop-up ice skating rink in like downtown,
Yeah, that was still even weird for me.
But yeah, the ice skating rink, they have axe throwing, laser tag. They have kind of like a Dave and Buster's kind of thing where it's like arcade games and there's an escape room there.
Yeah.
Like it was really fucking cool. And so
we're check those out.
Yeah, and we're walking around and there's lots of very like, fancy stores.
Fancy
like
stores.
Armani and I don't know.
Nothing I'm shopping.
No, nothing I'm going. It was like going to the airport.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that shit's out of my price range.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going there. And they had a little food court, and they actually had a wing stop. I didn't even know they had wing stops in Mexico.
I didn't know they came down this far.
I didn't either. And then we walked by and we realized there's a fucking Hello Kitty cafe there.
I love that you found it.
Yeah. Well, if you guys remember from, what was it? When did we go? For your birthday, right?
Birthday,
So in March. Yeah. We went to Mexico City, went to the Hello Kitty Cafe Chateau.
Yes.
Chateau.
Fancy.
And then so we saw this one. We're like, oh, let's stop in, just have a coffee and check it out. It was really nice. It was smaller than the Mexico City one, obviously.
It was much smaller. It had a lot more areas to take photos, I think, like little staging areas. But it was really cool.
Yeah, it was. And so I think the idea of the mall, I don't know what their plan was. Because it is kind of like, it's along the side of the highway. It's like kind of in the middle of nowhere. But there's a lot of big fancy resorts up and down the beach in between Cancun and Playa del Carmen. And you're kind of just like resort locked. You're on the resort. You ain't going anywhere. It's all inclusive. So I'm thinking maybe they're trying to keep people from going to Cancun. They're not keep people, but making it easier to go shopping instead of having to go all the way up into Cancun.
Right.
They have shuttles from the resorts that just take you over to the mall.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad little day trip, full day, half a day, something like that.
Yeah. So what'd you get for the Hello Kitty cafe?
I had the
drink.
Irish. It was like an
Car
Irish
bomb?
cream. No, wouldn't that be great? Irish kitty car bombs.
Oh God, we got to make that.
It was an Irish coffee, like Irish caramel cream coffee thing, and it came with cute little Hello Kitty cookies. That was like the shape of her head. It was delicious. No booze. We're very confused if like some of the menus I saw online said that they have booze in their drinks, but some don't. So I don't know. They didn't give us a menu that said they had alcohol.
I don't think they do. I think the names of the drinks are like booze drinks that we're used to. Like was it Irish Car Bomb? No, of course they wouldn't say that.
Irish coffee.
Irish coffee, yeah. Well, Irish coffee has alcohol in it. That's why it's Irish.
But I saw a menu online that says there's ones with alcohol and there are other ones in alcohol. So I don't know. They must have just figured I didn't want alcohol.
Well, I didn't see it on the menu, so I don't know.
True. It was still delicious.
Yeah. So if you're in the Riviera Maya and you have a little girl or a 41-year-old wife, it's a good spot.
We're just going to keep going to all of them. Collect a passport of
Hello Kitty I saw there's some in South America.
Oh.
They have them in like China or Japan or something.
Of course.
Is it from China or is it from Japan?
Japan. She's like the little, I forget what it's called, but
she's not even a cat, right? It's supposed to be a little girl.
It's a little girl. I've been lied to my whole life.
It's definitely a fucking cat. It has whiskers.
Right? She has like a little cat suit on or something. I don't know. And
bullshit.
I will say though, fuck that Hello Kitty cafe, because the hoodie there you said was like $60, $80.
Yeah, it was like 2,200 pesos. So it was like $110.
Oh my God, for a hoodie.
Yeah, like a thin hoodie. So.
Yeah, I looked
Well,
online.
I guess they're not sponsoring us now. Thanks, Alexis.
Sorry, Hello Kitty. I have some complaints.
Yeah. But no.
It was fun. You're such a good sport.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, hey, I'll go and sit by the water and drink a coffee. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. So after we left there, we went to somewhere that I picked.
Yes.
We went to Cerveza Pescadores, which is a brewery right outside of Puerto Morelos, basically.
One of your faves.
Yeah.
Mine
so
too.
If you ever gone to Playa del Carmen or Tulum from Cancun, you'll probably see it. It's on the right side. It's like a big yellow-looking barn house kind of thing.
We need to tell them we forgot.
To move.
They need, move into Playa del Carmen or Puerto Morelos, one or the other, or both. Have a little beer bar there. But get a huge billboard
sign,
that says "Get ready," because Pescadores is about to show up right now.
Because it's on the side of the highway, and you're just like,
yeah,
just fucking Tokyo drifting into it.
I don't know how you see it every time, but I'm watching for the yellow, and then you pull in, and it's so scary because people are flying on the highway.
Yeah. So we went there and had a couple beers, and I had probably the spiciest beer I've ever had.
I would agree.
Yeah, it was an habanero pale ale, I believe,
which sounds harmless enough.
Yeah, and we've had that before, like that beer before, but the batches can taste different depending on how much different ingredients they put in and everything. They must have put a ton of habanero peppers in there.
It was caliente.
Because it was it was so hot. We put it in your drink holder and we brought it all the way back to Playa, and we had the beer guys try it too, because they were I was like, guys, you got to fucking try this shit.
We still had a melon, whatever that melon beer was really good. But we were drinking it with the spicy beer, and that didn't even help. I was like, we can't drink this.
No. Yeah,
we can't drink it all.
It was super spicy. So if you want a real spicy beer, go to Cerveza Pescadores.
It was delicious.
Yeah. But then, so we leave the brewery, and we're heading back to town to Playa del Carmen, and we were like, shit, we need to get gas, because, of course, they didn't give us a full tank of gas.
Of course.
And when we went to the Hello Kitty Cafe, we paid with a 500. It was 160 pesos, so we were supposed to get 300 and some change back.
Right.
So we got, what was it? So we're thinking, okay, we're going to use the 300 for gas.
Right.
We're going to give them 300 and then, give them 10, 20 pesos for a tip.
Which everyone hears our stories about not having change. No one has change here. Everyone hates to give you change. I like to pay with smaller bills so you don't have to make change, but all we had was 500 peso bills.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't been to Mexico before, let me give you a little rundown on how getting gas usually works.
Right.
So it is all full service.
Yeah.
You cannot pump your own gas.
Nope.
You pull up, there's the little gas attendant guys, and they'll ask you, how much gas do you want? What kind of gas do you want? Right. So you tell them, I want this many pesos. And then there have been a lot of scams at the gas station. So they will usually, the little
ticker.
Yeah, like that says how much gas has been pumped or whatever, the little digital outread. They'll point up to it and say, see, it's at 0, because some scams have been, they started at like 200 pesos and then you put in 200 and then they charge you 400 or whatever. So
give you less gas and still take your money.
So they normally do that. Then they
and we know to watch for that.
Yep. And they're, like I said, they're full service. So sometimes they will they'll wash your window. They might put air in your tires if you need to or whatever. That's why you tip them, because they're doing a job. Give them 10, 20 pesos.
They're working for it.
Yeah,
they're working for the pesos.
Exactly. So so that's normally, and then they come back and you give them the money and gracias, hasta luego, and you get on your way.
Yeah.
This time, so we pull in, and we're very aware of these scams.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh, the 300. And then while we're counting the money, we're realizing at Hello Kitty, they didn't give us, I thought they would have given us a 200 and a 100 and then some of the change.
Right.
They gave us a 200, a 50, and then the rest in coins.
Right.
So we were very aware of what we had,
yes,
because we were thinking we had a 200 and a 100. I'm like, oh, that'll be easy. I can just hand it to them. Well, then we're like, fuck, we don't have that 300 that we wanted. So then you hand me a 500.
Yep.
500 pesos.
Old 500 bill.
Yeah, which is about $25.
Yeah.
And so you hand me that. So I'm thinking I'm going to give them the 500. They're going to give me 200 back.
Perfect.
So when I pull up, the lady that's working the pump, she's like, how much do you want? And I say 300 pesos, the type of gas I need.
You said it in Spanish.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. 300 pesos con magna. Sí. And so I tell her, then this other guy that's also working walks up and he's like, how much do you need? Or how much gas do you need? And I'm like, oh, okay. Because she was kind of doing something.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's working that side and he's working this side.
Yeah, it was weird. She's like standing to the front of our car and then he came around the other pump and then asked you again. And we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So I tell him again, 300 pesos, this is the type of gas I need. And then he opens up the little latch or whatever, and then he comes back and asks for the money. And I'm like, probably should have been aware, but I knew how much I was giving him. I was giving him a 500.
Yeah.
Just give me a 200 back.
We watched him zero it out.
Yeah.
Starts pumping. All is good.
So I give him the 500. And then he goes, pumps the gas. And then when he's done, he comes back and he goes, you only gave me a 20, like in Spanish.
Like a 20 peso.
Yeah,
bill.
like 20 peso bill, which is $1.
Yeah. And
I was like, no, I gave you a 500. And he's like, no. And he pulls out his wad of money out of his pocket. He's like, look, no, I don't have any 500s. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's what you're showing me. Yeah. And at first I was like confused. I didn't think he was trying to scam us at that point.
Right. Same.
Yeah.
When he pulled it out of his like front pocket, I was like, well, you have other pockets. That doesn't prove anything
I was like,
right there.
Yeah.
But I know, you looked at me and I'm like, yeah, are you sure? And we're like, oh, maybe we dropped it. And we were just messing with all of our bills and change and we're looking everywhere. I'm like, no, I remember looking at this 500 and being like, this is a crummy old bill. I hope they don't give us shit about it or something. And I handed it to you. So we weren't as confident right away, but then once we talked to each other, we're like, no, we know exactly what we
because we knew what we had. And I was like, we didn't even have a 20 peso bill.
And why would we give 20 pesos?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
that doesn't make sense.
So part of spoiler alert, this is a scam.
Yeah.
So part of the scam is the new 500s are blue.
Right.
The old ones are brown.
That's right.
So, and the 20 peso bill, the old ones are, I don't know if they're old or new, but anyway, the 20 peso and the 500 peso are both blue.
Right.
So he was trying to scam me. And so he's like, no. And I was like, and I'm looking under the seat because I'm starting to second guess myself. Yeah. That's how they get you, is you start to second guess yourself. Well, maybe I didn't give him that. I don't know. Or was I looking at it and then I grabbed the wrong bill and put the rest back in my wallet? But I was like, no. Yeah. And so in my head, I'm like, I don't want to give him another fucking 500 pesos because then we're out, you know, whatever,
A lot.
Yeah. So, so we were like, and then finally I was like, no, I was like, I gave you, I gave you a 500, only 500,
You did great. You just kept saying no. You were like, no, this is what I did. Nope, no. And he was like, I don't know.
Yeah, solo 500.
Nope.
Yeah. And so we're going back and forth. And then there's another guy that comes over. It looks like the big boss man or something, kind of like, oh, like what's the issue?
What's the problem?
Yeah, exactly. Because he had given me the 20 to hold because he was, oh no, like you gave me a 20, I need the 500, or I need the 300 at least. So then I said the same thing to the guy, and he's like, oh, sorry, he doesn't speak English very well. I was like, we've been speaking in Spanish.
We're not speaking English.
And he's like, he meant to give you this and he pulls out of his wallet and he gives the 200 back.
A green 200.
A green 200, yeah. So that's the scam. They think that you're going to get the 200 and the 20 confused, or the 500 and the 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
But we got out of there. We did not get scammed, and you didn't get a fucking tip, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, he would have got like 10 pesos.
Yeah. No, he would if if we gave a tip. Yeah, I was like,
we usually give 5-10 pesos.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say with the scam, he was gonna get 480 pesos.
Exactly.
Or maybe more because of the 300. No, he would have kept 480 pesos, got the other 300 from us, and then just been out 20 pesos.
You should have snatched his 20 and been like, I'm taking this just for wasting my time.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where after the fact, I was like so pissed at myself. I was like, I should have fucking yelled at him or said, you motherfucker, like, I know what you're doing. I'm going to call Profeco.
Yeah.
Like whatever. I should have taken their picture or recorded them or something. But I was just so like confused at first. And then I was like, okay, this is a fucking scam. And I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, if you don't live here and you're on vacation, you probably like, oh, whatever. Like, this is Monopoly money,
They saw us, white people in a rental car, thought we were easy targets, probably thought we were drinking a bunch, which we weren't. There was nothing that, we were being respectful. We spoke in Spanish, and they still tried to screw us. So I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. But I wish I would have taken their picture or video or something so I could have, sent it off or at least posted it or whatever. But you did, what did you do?
I wrote it. So as we were leaving, because there's a Go-Mart there, we're like, oh, we love Go-Mart. It's a Pemex gas station. This is something we know and trust. Let's stop here. We actually picked that one. I set a pin I was like, I'm writing a review or calling somebody when I get home. I'm going to set a pin to make sure I have the right gas station. So later when I looked it up, that gas station has 1,000,000 1-star reviews. The same exact thing and other scams. Them just scamming everybody, not the right change or, just some variation of what they did to us.
And they're also on the side of the highway in between cities. So it's not like you're going to go back there. You know, like if you get to wherever you're going, Playa del Carmen, or you're going north, you're going to Cancun or something, you're not going to be like, let me drive 20 minutes back to go like yell at these people.
Exactly.
They know that you're on the side of the road and you're not coming back probably.
And it was towards the end of the day. Most people have to return their rental cars. They're probably just like, they're gone. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But technology, we're all communicating. We're on to you. We're on to your scam.
Yeah. So if you guys are ever coming to Mexico, I know this is a well-known thing. We've known about the scams for years, but we've actually only been scammed once, and that was in Cozumel, and that was the scam where they ran
our honeymoon.
Yep, it was. They ran our credit card, and that was the other thing. Don't pay with a fucking credit card, even though these things can happen with cash.
Yeah,
you don't really have control of it with your credit card, and it's a bitch to get it refunded and everything. But they they slid our credit card. They gave us a receipt that said it was declined, and we found out it wasn't for our card. It was just a receipt that said declining, and then he's like, oh, do you guys have any cash? The machine's not working or whatever. Then you pay them cash. So they already got paid, and they're keeping the cash that they gave you. So that happened to us.
Wells Fargo refunded us.
That's true. Yeah.
I had the receipt and told them the story, and they were like, absolutely.
Yeah. So so that was the time we actually did get scammed. But another time, same deal. We were driving around the Yucatan with our neighbors when we went on our road trip. And I can't remember the exact amount details, but I remember we were putting 500 pesos in. I think he didn't put enough in.
Yeah, he either stopped short or they didn't start it at 0. I think we were all talking and weren't paying attention.
He came around to the side and started talking to us because he's trying to distract us.
We had Tiger with us at the time. He's like, oh, look at the puppy. Where are you guys going? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we were all like, wow, he's so nice for a gas station attendant. Like, not that they're not nice, but he was like overly nice.
Yeah.
We're like, what's up?
Well, and like what we had been told like years ago, and that we probably did for the first 2 or 3 years here, is get out of the car and stand there and watch the pump and watch them and everything like that. Right. But we've gotten comfortable enough where we can see when it's coming. So that time, we didn't get out of the car. And since we were driving around the Yucatan or the peninsula, and we knew that like how much 500 pesos would get us, so it was like about a half a tank or whatever. or maybe a little bit more. But we noticed when we were driving away that it was a little bit less.
Yeah.
So then we turned back around, came back in, and we said, hey, this doesn't seem right. It should be up to here and here. And he's like, oh, sorry. And then they, filled the rest of the gas up. But if that really wasn't a scam, they wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, sure, let me just give you some gas for free. If they didn't think that, so they knew what was going on.
They knew exactly.
Just like this situation when the guy immediately gave us he didn't even question his employee. He wasn't like, are you sure that you got the 500? He was like, oh, sorry. And then he pulls his own 200 out. So he's in on it too.
Exactly.
Fuckers.
Like, come on. You're making money anyway. Why do you got to scam people that are here to enjoy your country and spend money here? Right. We're spending money here anyway. I guess they just think we have disposable income. Mm-hmm. Not everyone here, and that's not everywhere here.
No,
it's
of
just
course.
Certain places and certain people.
Yeah, gas stations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
happens
for
at
sure.
home too.
Yeah, not like that, but yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, it's not everybody. It's just these certain guys. But just be vigilant when you're pumping gas.
Yeah, we were slacking. We were getting a little too lazy.
I actually tell people, don't even fucking rent. You don't need a car if you're staying in Playa del Carmen or whatever. The taxis, buses, they're cheap. And it's just not worth it because you can get in an accident or just people drive insane. The gas scams, it's just too much.
Yeah, if you don't need to, don't do it.
Yeah, not worth it.
Don't do it.
And it's tempting because at the airport, a lot of times the car rentals are like $10 a day or something, but then it's then they get you in the long run. So
we have a lot of Airbnb guests that drive down from Cancun, and I'm just like, please be careful.
Yeah.
Not that you can do it; it's fine. We do it, but if you're not familiar with the roads in the area. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. So, that was it. We got back to Playa del Carmen. We returned the car. Everything was all good. We went out and had some beers with our friends Charlotte and Jonathan afterwards, and it was a good day. It was an eventful day.
It was a great day. It was very eventful in one day.
But we also went and saw the puppies again.
Yes, the puggies.
The puppies. The puggies. Oh man, it's so funny how Penelope is instinctively protective of them. If you take one of the 7, she's like, yeah, she can do fucking math all of a sudden. She can count.
She goes over, licks every single one, and then looks at you like, where is it?
Take it out of your pocket.
Where is the puppy? Where's my kid?
Yeah. But we did pick out the one we want.
We did. Surprise.
Yes. Yeah, because obviously some of them are, other people have adopted them, their friend that's their neighbor that they lost their pug recently, she wanted one, and whatever, so they're adopting them out. So we picked out the one we want.
Yes, little boy,
oh,
man.
And they all just opened their eyes
they did.
The other day.
I can't wait to see them. 2 days after we had just seen them, they opened their eyes. So I'm so excited to see
woo!
our puggy.
Yeah, so that'll be great.
They are so cute.
And I believe we can pick him up July 17th.
Yeah, mid-July.
I think that's 8 weeks or whatever.
It'll be after your birthday. It'll be a great birthday present.
Yeah, that's true. We do have, I don't know, we're not set in stone, but Churro has grown on me.
Right.
So I think we've kind of decided on Churro, right?
We do like Churro.
We're calling him Hansito right now. That's his little
just baby Hanson, baby Hansito for right now when we go over there, because some of our friends said it's not bad luck, but it's not good luck to be naming them and planning them. Just kind of like a baby, until they're 100% healthy, ready to go, which they are all perfectly healthy. For sure. Thank God.
Yeah. So that is that's the update.
We're so excited. We'll keep you guys posted.
We're gonna see him again this weekend. We're like foster parents where it's or adoptive parents where you go and you go to the what do they call it? The adoption place.
Yeah, orphanage.
Orphanage. Yeah, we go to the orphanage and we go. Yeah, I know, but as we go there and we check on them every week and see how they're doing, we can't wait to take you home.
They're Juan and Julieta. They're doing an amazing job. They are the puppy central home. They already have 2 pug girls, then they have 7 pug puppies, and then sometimes they watch their neighbor's Chihuahua.
Literally 10 dogs.
So it's amazing to go over there if you love dogs. We're just dog city. But yeah.
All right.
Well, they're doing a great job.
Are you ready for some Airbnb horror stories?
I'm ready.
Oh, I got something for you, Lex.
Oh, shoot.
Broken glasses, poop in the bed, missing doorknob. It's time for Airbnb horror stories.
Wow.
So funny.
I finally did it. I sat down and made a little intro for
I
you.
love it. It gave me chills.
Yeah.
Broken glasses, poop in the bed, missing doorknobs.
Oh shoot! So I guess you got like kind of two little story, maybe an update to one and a new story for the other one or something. Or
We do. We have. I don't remember the one we talked about last week, but I have two new stories. So we had a group. I think it was just 4 ladies staying, and when our housekeeping team went there, they were actually. Let me back up and say, this guest was a little strange because they were very appreciative, communicated right out of the gate. Everything was fine. And then we started getting complaints about them. So there was one complaint that they weren't locking like our main gate to the property.
Oh, okay, like to the neighbor, like the complex.
Right. So you're supposed to, you have a key for the main gate and then you have a key for your home. So everyone is safe, even if you're in the courtyard. So they weren't doing that. So we had to reach out and they were very nice. We're so sorry, blah, blah, blah. We'll make sure we lock the door. Cool. Then the next day we had another guest say, hey, we're like, hey, how was your first night? Did you sleep well? And she's like, no, I didn't sleep well at all. My baby was up all night because of the people next to us. I had to go say something to them at 2 a.m. And we were like, oh, do you want us to say something? She's like, nope, it's been handled. Like mom power.
Gotcha.
We're like, okay, great. We still said something to them. Took them 24 hours to reply and say, oh, we're so sorry. It won't happen again. We're like, okay, thank you for replying. Then they check out. Very appreciative. All the, thanks for letting us stay. Hope to stay again, whatever. Our housekeeping team goes in there. First, they notice one of our nice little margarita glass sets smashed beside the pool.
Oh my God.
Smashed on the ground, still left there and beside the pool. So, like, wouldn't you clean that up?
Yeah, at least move it inside.
Yeah.
Or I'd at least hide it, like if
Throw
you're going
it-
to try to be a jerk about it.
Throw it away.
Like clean it up, throw it away, act like there wasn't one. Just hope that you guys didn't realize they were missing one.
Yeah, because we're not like nitpicky. Like a glass, a wine glass, a
It
margarita
happens.
glass, you're drinking. There's lots of hard surfaces.
Right.
We get it, whatever. But it was right by the pool. So then we got to drain the pool, clean the pool, do all those things. The cleaning team goes inside. More glasses broken. There's like every wine glass was broken somehow and just sat there very nicely for us to find. I don't know, but they never said anything. Like,
Weird.
we're so sorry we broke all of your drinking glasses.
Jesus, right?
What were you doing? Just like Mazel tov.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Opa.
So then we're like, okay, that sucks. We might have to ding them for that since all of the glasses were broken. The cleaning team goes in the bedroom. There's blood all over the sheets and the pillowcases, probably from breaking the
Yeah, they probably
glasses.
stepped on it.
Like, what the heck? So that was a whole thing. We're filing a claim with them. And I just don't understand. If I broke something, I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What can I do?
Yeah.
Like, what can I pay for it? Can I replace it? So that was one guess. So we had another guest that came and she started out, she's a younger solo traveler. She said her friend couldn't come with her and normal check-in, nothing out of the ordinary. Then she reaches out to us like, hey, do you have any lighters in the house? And that already sets off red flags for
Yeah.
us. We're like, what do you need a lighter for? She's like, yeah, I'm trying to light my cigarette, but it's not lighting with the stove. And we're like, oh, I can just feel my boss from like thousands of miles away being like, what are you doing? Because we have those glass induction stoves.
Yeah.
It's not an old school coil. You're not lighting
Yeah.
a cigarette on the glass stoves, right?
No.
It's not happening.
Well, especially with the induction, because you need a like an induction pan or pot on there.
right? To make it actually heat.
Yeah.
So we're like, that's not going to work. She's like, I wondered why it wasn't working. I was going to make some tea, but I didn't know why this wasn't, lighting or whatever. And we explained. She's like, oh, silly me. No problem.
Dumbass.
That was like the last we heard from her in 2 days. So there's 2 days we're like, hey, normal correspondent, how's your trip going? Do you need anything? Haven't heard from nothing. We didn't say haven't heard from you, but like, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Haven't heard from her at all. Then the next day we get a random message on one of our bookings saying, hey, I'm friends with this girl. Haven't heard from her is she okay? Have you seen her? Have you heard from her? Like, I'm concerned.
And she was traveling alone, right?
Traveling alone. The friend reached out, said she's 22, traveling alone this trip. I'm worried about her because I haven't heard from her. So then we get worried. We're like, this lady's trying to light a cigarette on a glass stovetop.
Maybe she's locked in the bathroom.
Maybe she's, locked inside.
She can't get out of a wet paper bag.
Locked outside. I don't know. We did a little, a check on her and make sure it didn't answer the door. We have kind of video cameras around the property. We saw her come and go a couple times. She's just not responding to us or her friends. So we're thinking, okay, maybe this friend, she doesn't want to talk to her, whatever. So no communication. Then we reach out to her. Finally, like the Airbnb host is getting really worried. Like this could be bad.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like there was this big debate of do we like keep messaging her? We don't want to bother her and stuff. And I'm thinking like, no, like I watch a ton of fucking like true crime, like murder shows. And I can just see like the news report, like, some friends and family reached out to the Airbnb host. She was still alive, locked up in a dungeon, but they didn't make any fuss about it or something. So.
That was the thing. We were going back and forth, very concerned. Like, should we interfere? But we have a lot of guests that come and we just don't.
For sure.
You're here, you're partying, you're beaching, you're doing whatever you're doing. You don't want to talk to us, and we totally understand that. So we're debating how much we are going to get involved with this situation. We reached out a few times, didn't hear anything. Then finally, one of the security guards messages us and says, hey, I saw the girl. She's here. She has all her bags packed and she's leaving. She put the keys in the lockbox. She's out of here. We're like, she's not supposed to check out till the next day. So we're all really confused and reach out to her and like, hey, is everything okay? Your checkout's tomorrow at this time. She said she had a family emergency and thank you for the lovely stay, 5 stars, but I'm leaving. We're like, okay, weirdo. It's the weirdest guest ever. And she left a day early. Never heard from her again.
That's so fucking weird. Right? That's what I'm saying. You should have blown her up. Maybe she obviously had something happen in her family. Yeah. Maybe she would have known about it sooner.
True, but
it's not your problem.
Is that responsibility on us? Like we could kind of do time checks that she was alive every day. She was home.
No, like you knew like that somebody was there, but you didn't know who was there.
True.
So
true.
I don't know. I always would err on the side of caution. Yeah. They're not going to get upset that you guys are messaging her, hey, your friend or family or member or whatever is messaging us. So this person knew what Airbnb she was staying in. Right. So she had the link, went to the host, and then messaged, and you guys got the message from them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like because we did all talk about, well, maybe it's like an ex-boyfriend that's like, hey, you're not answering me, and she's on some like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants kind of situation or something. Yes. But I mean, I would have just said, hey, like, message her a couple times. Hey, we're concerned about you. Your family's messaging us.
Yeah.
Can you please respond to one of them?
I would just say to anybody that's renting Airbnb or one of those, online sites, like just communicate with your hosts. If they're not, reaching out, communicating, that's fine. But if we might not over communicate, but we definitely say, hey, let us help you, because Tulum's not easy to navigate, right, especially if you're 22 and alone and have never been there. We're here to help you. Just say, nope, don't need any help. I'm good. I'm going to get drunk with these dudes or something. Just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's weird because if you guys didn't answer her, you would get probably a worse rating. But they should return the favor too. You know, like they should message you guys back. You're staying in their $500,000 home or whatever. Fucking answer your phone, bitch.
Exactly.
Like, Jesus. Like, just say, hey, I'm okay or something.
I think we have like an abundance of people asking for privacy. So maybe she just wanted, I just need a few days to do my own thing. I don't want to hear from anybody.
I'm just here for the gangbang.
Turn my phone off. We're like, oh my God, where is she? We're so worried.
Yeah. And that's
Hopefully not.
She's like, that's where I got my nickname Churro in Mexico. Tamale. All right. So, well, yeah. Very, very weird.
Very weird.
So long. See you later.
Yeah. Bye. Glad. She gave us 5 stars too. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Well, good deal. Everything's okay except for her family, hopefully.
Yes. I hope her family's okay.
All right. Well, let's get out of here. I did want to congratulate my dad who finished his 28th consecutive Damn to Des Moines half marathon.
Yes.
It's a half marathon in Des Moines, Iowa, and he has done it 28 years in a row. Even during COVID, when they all had to run at home and run on their treadmill and just like send in their time on their watch or whatever, like he's made all of them.
Only in Iowa, the honor system.
Right? Yeah. So congratulations, super
Good job,
awesome.
Mark.
Yeah.
We're so proud of you, Marky Mark. Woo.
Yeah, but well, all right. As usual, if you want to support the podcast, buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers. You can go to hansonsonhiatus.com. We got all the links to the podcast on Spotify, YouTube. They are all video casts, obviously, if you're watching us. And there's also links to the merch shop there. There is, what else is there? Well, all your Father's Day designs at the merch shop.
Don't forget, Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th.
Yes.
Don't forget.
Yeah. And we have the you can be a Fucky supporter there. Yep. $1 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month. If you love what you're listening to, you want to support the podcast, keep it going. We greatly appreciate it. And as usual, like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.